Welcome to Ghouls Night Out with your hostesses, Brandy and Jody. Hello, beautiful ghouls. This is Brandy. I am here with my sister, Jody.
Hello.
So I have a personal glitch that happened. Glitch in the Matrix.
Ooh.
So this shirt that I'm wearing right now, I swear to you, last winter, because it's a quarter length sleeve, so I don't wear it in the summertime. It had to have been like this time last year.
Okay.
When I would wear, because it's quarter length, so I wear it like in the spring, fall. I swear to you, this shirt had holes all in the bottom, and in the sleeve, it had holes in it. So I threw it away around this time last year. And I walked in the closet, and I saw this shirt, and I was like, what is this? And I picked it up, and it was the shirt that I threw away last year.
Are you sure it was the same shirt and you didn't buy like two of them?
I didn't buy two of the same shirt. I had one shirt that looked like this, and I swear it had holes all in it. And it was like, I wore it to bed, Yeah. And I was like, I need to just get rid of it. But this has no holes in it. I don't know where it came from if it's not the same shirt.
That's weird.
I know. So yeah, it's my personal glitch in the Matrix story.
Or is it, what's that other thing?
What, the Mandela effect?
Yes.
Where I thought I saw holes in a shirt, and I totally... No, because I remember thinking... Because I only wore it to bed. It's one of my favorite shirts ever. It fits me perfectly. It's comfortable. And I wore it all the time. And it got to the point where I would just wear it to bed because it had holes in it. And I obviously am not going to wear it out. And I walk in the closet, and I was looking through my stuff, and I was like, what's this?
Well, I need to bring my favorite shirts to your closet so they can multiply.
I know, but I seriously don't know where it came from.
That's weird.
So, yeah.
Interesting.
Okay, so I have spoiler alerts upcoming because we're going to talk about the Ted Bundy movie, which I told you to watch last week, and you did not.
I know.
Watch it.
I was watching Lucifer. Lucifer is much more important. I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's really good, though.
Okay.
Zac Efron actually, plays Ted Bundy. He did really good. I mean, he's good in anything he's in. I think he's a really good actor.
I think he's pretty good.
There is this part where in this Ted Bundy movie, and again, spoiler alert, if you don't want to hear this, move on. But when they sentence him, he is standing there, not blinking, point blank, just tears streaming. That is an amazing actor. If I've ever seen, who can do that? I mean, really. So, go Zac Efron and your acting ability. There was a quote at the beginning of this movie, and I actually got a different point of view because I watched this movie with Aaron, with my husband, and he's not a complete serial killer freak like I am, and I've heard the story a billion times. I know who Ted Bundy is. I know what he did. Aaron did not know anything about him before we watched this, and even though this is a man that failed miserably at the psychopath test that I gave him, which if you guys
that does not surprise me at all. Just saying.
Love you, Aaron. Love you. But no, if you haven't heard that, it's a girl goes to her brother's funeral and meets this guy. And a month later, she kills her sister. Why? This guy leaves without giving her any information, and this girl kills her sister a month later. Why? And you're supposed to say, I don't know. The answer is she wants to see this guy again. Only psychopaths get that right. Aaron got it right. No hesitation whatsoever. So yeah, I'm married to a psychopath.
Aaron.
Anyway, that's okay. But anyway, he's not into serial killers at all. So he didn't know who Ted Bundy was really. You know, he didn't know anything about him. And the quote at the beginning of this movie is, "Few people have the imagination for reality," which is very true and extremely scary. That's from Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. I think that's how you say it, Goethe. He was born in 1749, died in 1832. He was a German poet. That's the guy that said this quote. And that's very powerful. It's a very powerful and creepy quote, which I'm going to have hopefully creepy quotes at the beginning of episodes. I'm going to try and do this, which I haven't looked it up yet, so let's see how that works out. But me and Aaron got to talking about there are things happening in this world right now that we could not even fathom. We don't have the imagination for the creepy, horrifying shit that is happening in this world right now.
Yes.
And that's very poignant when it comes to Ted Bundy, because he doesn't look like someone that would do the things that he did. He was very manipulative. He could get his way. He was a nut bar. The one thing that I didn't like, actually there was a few things that I didn't like about this movie. They made him seem extremely likable. Yeah. He's everybody's best friend, and he's a great guy. That's what I got. And in the middle of this movie, Aaron was like, are you sure he did this? I mean, maybe he didn't do it. No. I was like, no, he fucking did this shit. He did that. He did it. And so that's one thing I didn't like.
That's the thing with serial killers, though. That's a trait that a lot of them have in common. They're very, what's the word? Charismatic.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And you're right. Yeah. And a lot of them had ties with the local police department. They were their friends. They hung out with them. So they thought that they could get away with more. And they probably did.
Probably at first, anyway.
Exactly. So that was one thing I didn't like about this movie. That, I mean, it really portrayed him as a very likable person. And the whole movie is really about, I guess it would be his first girlfriend or a girlfriend. And she is like pining for him throughout this whole thing. And she doesn't want to believe that he's capable of these things. And and that's terrible and hard, and I really couldn't imagine. Another thing, I wish they would have had more crime scene, like actual footage, maybe from news or crime scene photos, things like that. They didn't have hardly any of that in there. They had a couple of things at the very end, and there was a couple of things in the middle as well that they put in there that was actual footage or actual photos. But yeah, that was pretty much it that I wanted to say.
I was listening to the Murder Squad, and they were talking about it.
Oh, yeah.
And one of them, I don't remember which one said it, but he said what he didn't like about the movie was that it wasn't about the girls.
No. It was about how likable Ted Bundy was.
And he thinks that there should have been more emphasis on the actual victims.
Absolutely. I completely agree. And like I said, it really did portray him as a very likable character, and it made Aaron, I should say, question, did he really do this?
Well, their goal was probably to show people that you can't trust the facade or the persona that they put forward.
Right.
You know, everyone, I don't know how to put this, but you can't trust that just because someone's good looking or acts nice or it actually is.
Yeah.
Because a monster does not necessarily look like a monster.
Maybe. And I mean, honestly, the fact that they are pretty much focusing on this girl who, I mean, lived with him and had her small daughter around him all the time. And, you know, he was there for he was there all the time. So she was like, there's no way. I mean, how can this be? And, you know, she didn't want to believe that. So even the person that was really close to him, you know.
And that happens a lot too.
Yes.
You know, they have wives, they have families.
Exactly.
That, you know,
that have no clue what's going on.
They are experts.
Yeah.
At hiding.
It's so scary.
What they are.
It's so scary. But yeah, watch it. And I said it was boring last week, and we watched My Friend Dahmer. Like right after that movie was boring.
Oh.
Sorry, like another spoiler alert, but yeah. I really love Ross Lynch. He's the guy that played Dahmer. Mm-hmm. He is so adorable, and he's a Disney guy as well. I loved him. But yeah, that movie's boring. Oh. Really boring. So yeah. But it's called, actually I didn't write it down.
It was some weird title.
Extremely wicked, vile, and something
evil, or
yeah,
something.
It's kind of a little much.
Yeah, I know. When I saw that title, I'm like, what?
Yeah,
I thought at first that was like the description.
That's what I thought. I thought that was someone's review of it.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, well, what's the title of the damn movie?
Yeah, that's not it. But yeah, I mean, it's really good. I recommend
I'll watch it.
Yeah,
I'll probably watch it this weekend. Because I'm sure I'll be done with Lucifer here soon.
Watch Dead to Me.
Yeah,
too,
on
Netflix.
That was those are my 2 goals for this weekend.
Yeah. And like I told you earlier, the first episode of Dead to Me, I was almost about to turn it off. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad I didn't do that.
On Facebook, that's all I've seen is really good.
It's good. Yeah.
Reviews.
And so. I'm only on the third episode, so I'm not into it that much, but it's good so far.
Okay.
So. Yeah. All right, so I have some embarrassing moments, awkward moments for the week. First one, I told a TA, which is, I'm assuming teacher's assistant, I had a crush on that I needed a letter of recommendation for an internship when I did not. I let him write a bunch of nice things about me, then just opened it and read it. I still have it somewhere. I think that's pretty genius.
Yeah. Doesn't sound like they were embarrassed about it at all.
Playing Madonna's Take a Bow. Oh, these are the most outrageous things people have done in the name of love.
Oh, okay. So it's not embarrassing moments.
Right.
Or
and
I guess they could, some of them.
Yeah, I mean, it was still embarrassing moments, but like embarrassing things that they've done in the name of love.
Okay.
So, and I've got a couple, I was like all over the place with these. So send in your embarrassing moments, please. I need them.
Please.
Otherwise I'm going to have to figure out something else to start the show with, because they're getting pretty slim here. Okay, next one. Played Madonna's Take a Bow for my 8th grade English class with the lyrics up on the overhead projector, supposedly as a presentation on figurative language, but actually to stand in front of the class and stare poignantly at the guy who just dumped me. That's hilarious. That's something I would have done and be like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. I played this song for this guy I liked when I was, elementary school, I think. I was young. And I just called him and played a song on the thing. And his sister yelled at me. She was like, leave my brother alone.
Oh, so dramatic.
I know. Oh, goodness. Okay. I wrote an original poem in Spanish in his yearbook with the lyrics to Anything for You by Gloria Estefan, which I somehow thought he wouldn't recognize, even though his parents were Cuban. You'd probably be like, I can read this. That would be embarrassing.
Yes, that would be.
This one, I may have punched in the face. I went to a department store and got full makeup done by one of the makeup artists, and then went to my girlfriend's house to show her because she always nagged at me about making more of an effort. I wanted to surprise her. She critiqued my makeup while I stood on her front porch.
How rude.
I'm like, bye, bitch. Yeah, fuck off. That's bullshit. Brought a boombox to school and played Debbie Gibson's song for a boy years before Say Anything came out.
Well,
they stole her idea.
Mm-hmm. And made lots of money.
Exactly. Made an iconic scene out of it.
Everybody knows what that is.
Exactly. The one that haunts me is the time in high school I invited my crush over for a quote-unquote movie night and totally let him believe that there would be other people there when I hadn't invited anyone. I was very transparent, and we didn't even make out.
Aww.
That sucks.
All that work for nothing.
Okay, these are embarrassing moments. When I was in 6th grade, my friends used to call me a dildo all the time. I used to hate it and get so pissed every time they did. I didn't know what a dildo was, but I had a sneaking suspicion that it was a penis. So close, yet so far. I didn't realize my error until one fateful day, and my friends once again decided to call me a dildo during PE. In my anger, I shouted, "At least I have one." I'm 30 years old, and to this very day, anytime I see one of those people, they inevitably bring up the fact that in 6th grade, I shouted that I had a dildo. Oh my God. That is so embarrassing.
That's cute.
Next one, I audibly shit myself in a boardroom meeting once. There were about 7 or 8 other people in the room, and it happened while my boss was speaking. He stopped talking, and there were some gasps. I didn't know what to do other than profusely apologize and go home. The next day, I apologized to my boss and told him I had been ill. I still work at the same company, and it hurts every day. This was 2 years ago.
God, that would be horrible.
Oh my God, I would die. I would probably quit. I would be like, fuck it. I'll get another job somewhere else.
Oh.
When I was young, I didn't know the difference between getting laid and getting laid off. I had no idea that these things were completely different. I would use them almost interchangeably. So when my dad lost his job one year, the next day at school, I went around explaining to all my classmates, "Yeah, things aren't going well at my house. My dad got laid yesterday."
His dad probably wished that's what happened.
Yeah, really. He'd probably be like, damn it. This one is fantastic. I got my first iPhone about 7 or 8 years ago, and it was a 4S, I think, the first to have Siri. Anywho, I was listening to a lot of hip-hop at the time, and the phrase I chose to say to Siri was, "I love it when you call me Big Papa." Siri asked me if I wanted her to call me Big Papa. Why not, I thought. This event totally left my memory until about 2 years later when I was looking for an email I had sent from my phone. I found it and was horrified to learn that I had signed it off from Big Papa. Everything I had sent from my phone in the last 2 years, including job-related emails and even applications, had been signed off from Big Papa. Oh my gosh. I would fucking die.
And nobody said a word.
Of course
Not
they didn't.
one person. Like, what's this Big Papa about? What's this mean?
That is hilarious. Oh my gosh. Okay. Next one, I dropped my female friend and a cute friend of hers off somewhere. As the cute friend left, she said, "It was nice to meet you," which I replied, "Hello." Her saying, "Nice to meet you," for some reason, processed in my head as a greeting. I wanted to drive into a wall. Hello. She's probably like, "Okay. Okay, bye.
See you later. Or not.
Or not ever." Okay. So, next one. I really don't like babies. I literally cannot stand it when people just hand me their baby without asking. So my boss came in with her new child and asked if I minded holding her for 5 while she went to the bathroom. I completely panicked and blurted out, "How dare you assume that as a woman I would want to hold your child? I don't like children," and stomped off. I honestly don't know what came over me. Oh my God. I feel like, oh my God, sorry. Jesus. Oh goodness. Okay. Next one, I tripped over nothing and face planted the floor entering an interview room.
Oh my God.
I never got the job and I was told I was overqualified.
Do you think they said that just to make her feel better?
I don't know. After school, my mom saw my crush and yelled out the window, "You better text her back."
Oh my gosh.
I'd kill my mom if she did that.
I'd never do that. Well, no, I would
No,
never do
not
that.
a crush.
No, I wouldn't.
Oh my goodness.
I would do it. I'd do something to him in private. I'd make fun of him or something, but
Yeah.
not in front of her. No.
Yeah. Today in math class, I had the urge to fart. I thought that if I dropped my book and farted at the same time, no one would hear it. I dropped my textbook. Everyone looked at me. Then I farted loudly.
Talk about backfiring.
Oh my gosh. So, next one, I brought in a resume that wasn't mine and didn't realize until I went to hand it to the lady. Fun stuff. I had an interview one time that a friend of mine set up. I sent her my resume to send to them. She redid it, didn't tell me, gave it to them. I then gave them my actual resume, which was completely different.
Oh my gosh.
I was so fucking mad. And yeah, I didn't get the job.
Well,
I wonder why.
yeah.
They probably thought I was a fucking liar.
Oh.
Oh my God, I was so mad.
You don't do that kind of shit.
I know. I called her. I was like, this resume that they had was not mine. She's like, "Oh yeah, I redid that." I was like, "Oh my God, what the fuck?"
Was it like different? Like she just redid the format?
No,
or
she lied. She put in a bunch of shit that I didn't know how to do. She totally redid my resume and didn't tell me about it. Maybe if she would have told me about it, I could maybe like weasel my way in there. I mean, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, whatever. Next one, my grandma asked if I was texting my boyfriend because I kept smiling at my phone. I was reading a book. Which that actually kind of happened to me too. I used to go down and at the bank I worked at, there was a basement where the break room and stuff was. And I was down there and I was on the phone and this girl that I worked with came in and I was laughing. She's like, "Oh, that smile means you're on the phone with a boy." I was talking to mommy. I was like, no, it's my mom. When I brought my boyfriend to meet my parents, they wore matching overalls and talked like Hicks the whole time.
Oh my gosh. Really?
That is embarrassing.
Kind of funny. But
Once in a public bathroom, I opened a panty liner package, and the little girl in the stall next to me asked her mom why I had a bag of chips. Next one, I was shaving my pubes, and once I was done, I dusted the hair off the mat outside the window. A couple hours later, my downstairs neighbor rang the bell and asked me to accompany him to his car and showed me how all my pubes were all over his car. I would fucking die. I'm like, oh, that's not mine.
Who would do that to you?
That's so
Can't
terrible.
believe that.
I will pray for you. Goodbye.
I got something I got to do. See you later. I'd really wash that though.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you got a little something on there. Don't you?
You're like, that's gross. Why would you show that to me?
Oh, shit. Okay. Next one. This is my last one. I went to confessions for the first time in a long time, and when the priest put his hand up, I gave him a high five. Turns out he was just trying to give me a blessing.
Oh.
That'd be embarrassing.
Oh, well.
All right, those are my embarrassing moments for the week.
Yay. I did Ghosts of Rhode Island.
All right. That's really small, right?
Yes.
Like Rhode Island's really small.
Very small, yes.
Ooh, interesting. Is it an island?
No.
It's not.
Well, it didn't look like it on the map anyway.
Okay.
I don't know why it would be called Rhode Island. Maybe someone can write in and tell us.
Yeah. Do you live in Rhode Island, or have you been there? Have you seen a car with a Rhode Island license plate? Because apparently that's very rare.
Really?
Yeah, it's small, and I think it's an island. Why would they call it Rhode Island and not be an island?
I don't know, but
We don't do geography.
when I looked at the map, it was just in with all the other states, like
Okay.
normal. I don't know.
Well, let us know if you know. Is Rhode Island an island? I bet
And
it is.
yes, we probably should know this.
And we're serious, too.
But-
This is not a joke. We really don't know.
No, we don't know.
Okay.
Fort Wetherill in Jamestown. Fort Wetherill. Why can't they just have regular words?
I don't know. They suck.
Anyway, it's one of the most haunted places in Rhode Island, and it is said to be haunted by a phantom dog that has been seen since back in the Revolutionary War era. It is said that when the British took control of the 40, I think it's supposed to be fort, in 1776, they were terrorized by a black dog who prowled the entire fort. In British folklore, a black dog is said to be an omen of death, so they were understandably unsettled by his appearance. He is still spotted on occasion at Fort Wetherill, usually glaring at people before disappearing through a wall. He can also be heard growling, barking, and howling on occasion.
That's crazy. That's like hellhound.
Yeah, that's what I think of when you think of,
Yeah.
black dogs.
Right. Ooh, that's creepy.
Seaview Terrace in Newport. You might recognize the outside of Seaview Terrace since it was used for exterior shots in the gothic horror television show Dark Shadows. However, the property doesn't just look creepy, it is also considered to be one of the most haunted houses in Rhode Island. The building has an interesting history. The house was originally built in Washington, D.C., but in 1907, liquor millionaire Edson Bradley decided to move his mansion to Newport, Rhode Island. It was completely disassembled and relocated to the existing Seaview Terrace in Newport. The entire process took 2 years to complete and involved merging the two buildings into one. It later became an all-girls summer boarding school. It is now said to be one of the most haunted places in Rhode Island with several ghosts in residence. The most prominent spirit said to haunt the property is the original owner's wife, Mrs. Bradley. She loved her home and has no desire to leave it. She is often seen playing her favorite Este organ, while others have experienced various strange noises like phantom footsteps, disembodied voices, and banging. There have also been dark shadows seen and jiggling door handles.
Oh, that's so... I hate when door handles jiggle.
I know, because you can't see what's on the other side.
I
and
know.
You're like, what is trying to come in?
Exactly.
Ugh.
It's so creepy.
Yes, it is. And like in horror movies, when they do the slow doorknob
the
turn.
turning,
Oh,
yeah.
hate that. The Perrin House in Burrillville. The Perrin House is very famous thanks to the movie The Conjuring. The film was based on true events that occurred in the home of Roger and Carolyn Perrin. Not long after the couple and their daughters moved into the home, they started seeing terrifying apparitions. Mrs. Perrin once woke to find an old woman in a gray dress with her head hanging at an awkward angle standing over her bed.
Ooh. Did you watch House on Haunted Hill?
Yes. Oh, that was one of my favorite.
Bendy Neck
Yes.
Lady? Oh,
Yes.
so good. That's what that reminds
That's
me
one of my favorite haunted or horror movies.
Yeah, that's good.
Famed paranormal experts Ed and Lorraine Warren were called in and concluded that this was the spirit of Bathsheba Sherman, a Satanist who sacrificed her own daughter to Satan before later hanging herself in a ritual to bind her soul to the property.
Oh my God.
Did we ever say anything about Lorraine Warren?
No, we did on Facebook. I posted
Oh,
the fact that
okay.
she passed away, but
Yeah. That was actually one of the guys I used to work with. That's like his
right.
aunt or something.
Yeah, distant relative of
Yeah.
some sort. Did he go to her funeral?
I don't know. I don't talk to him.
Oh, that's right. That was
anymore.
a different place.
Yeah. Belcourt Castle, Newport. I don't think they were very close, but I don't know. Belcourt Castle is a mansion in Newport which is said to be haunted by a phantom monk. One of the most common reports of paranormal activity coming out of Belcourt Castle is in relation to two haunted chairs. That's right. If you happen to visit Belcourt Castle, then you may want to take care where you sit because there are two haunted chairs in the mansion which are said to forcibly eject anyone who attempts to sit on them.
Okay, I have questions. How does a chair, does it tip forward, like get the fuck out? Or does the seat come up?
I don't know.
There's like poke them in the ass? Does it shove a transporting ass penny up their ass?
I don't know the answer to any of those questions.
Okay.
It has also been said that there's a haunted suit of armor in the house.
Ooh, that's creepy. I like that.
Chestnut Hill Cemetery in Exeter. Chestnut Hill Cemetery has gained a reputation as one of the most haunted locations in Rhode Island, largely thanks to the tomb of an alleged vampire, Mercy Lena Brown. Mercy, her mother, and two of her siblings all died of consumption. This was during a period when there was a great deal of hysteria surrounding vampires in New England, and rumors persisted that one of the Browns was one of the undead, leading to the family's bodies being exhumed. Mary and the others were decayed as would be expected, but Mercy's corpse was perfectly preserved and her hair had even grown longer while buried. Her heart was instantly cut out and burned to stop her from rising from the grave.
Oh my God.
Since then, Mercy's ghost has been seen around the tomb wearing a dirty, ripped gown. On one occasion, a visitor in the cemetery managed to record Mercy's voice in EVP form saying, "Please let me rest in peace."
Oh, that's crazy.
I wonder why she was preserved.
I don't know. I mean, isn't that... I mean, I don't want to say normal, but isn't that like an occurrence in some cases?
I know, like the hair looking like it's longer, or fingernails looking like they've grown, but as far as being preserved, I'm not sure.
Well, I know that they say that the skin around your fingernails and your scalp will
like recedes.
Recede, yeah. So it looks like your stuff has been growing, but it doesn't actually do that. But if she was preserved, there could have been something else going on.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's weird.
I don't know what it would be, but yeah.
Especially if the other two were not like that. Mm-hmm. You would think that they would all be, I don't know, embalmed or something, the same way.
Yeah.
All at the same time, right?
You would think so.
That's very interesting.
Mm-hmm. The Breakers Mansion in Newport. Cornelius Vanderbilt had the stunning Breakers Mansion built in Newport during the Golden Age, which was 1900 to 1929, and to this day it remains one of the best examples of the era. It has formal gardens, a private beach, and a stunning view of the Atlantic Ocean. It is now one of America's largest national historic landmarks and one of the most haunted mansions in Rhode Island. It is said to be haunted by the ghost of Alice Vanderbilt, and her ghost has been seen regularly in the mansion since her death in 1934. The description of her ghost is always the same and fits how she would have looked prior to her death. The family living there now says that she has been a near constant presence, but they will not allow any investigators access as they know who she is and do not wish to disturb her. It is her home every bit as much as it is theirs.
That's nice.
Yeah.
It's kind of rare that you hear that.
Yeah, really. Usually it's people trying to...
Oh, give me $20 and you can come in my house.
Well, either that or, like, deny...
Or, yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Nathaniel Green Homestead in Coventry. Nathaniel Green Homestead in Coventry is the former residence of famed Revolutionary War General Nathaniel Green. It is considered to be one of the most haunted buildings in Rhode Island thanks to a range of spooky activity, including phantom footsteps, disembodied screams, and doors that open and close on their own. City Hall in Providence. Providence City Hall is known to be one of the most haunted places in Rhode Island. Staff had seen chairs moving by themselves, smelled cigar smoke, and heard unexplained whispering in empty rooms. The paranormal activity is said to be caused by the ghost of the late Mayor Doyle, who is actually buried in the building. I don't like that.
No.
Why would you bury someone in the building?
Seriously.
The Ladd School in Exeter. The Ladd School was founded back in 1908 as a school for the feeble-minded. Over the years, it came to be home to criminals and other undesirable people who society felt would be best removed from the general population. This included everything from the mentally ill to promiscuous women. The school became known for horrible and often immoral acts against those who were being cared for. This included forced sterilizations and other barbaric treatments. In addition to staff harming the patients, many of them committed crimes against each other as well. This abandoned building is now known to be one of the most haunted abandoned places in Rhode Island. It is common for electronic items to be drained of power, and visitors have heard screams and voices coming from inside the empty buildings.
That is so creepy.
Yes, it is.
Did you ever watch Cropsy? It's a documentary. I think it's on Netflix, or it was on Netflix. I don't know if it's on there anymore. It was. I think it started out as a documentary about an urban legend.
Wait, why does that sound familiar?
You probably have at least heard about it, but it's a documentary, and they end up covering this mental institution that just, I mean, horrific things were going on in this institution. You know, these patients were not being taken care of.
Oh, yeah, I've seen lots of documentaries about that kind of thing.
There was a man that, and I could be getting some of this wrong, it has been years since I watched this, but I believe there was a man that was in the insane asylum that escaped or murdered people like patients in there, and escaped into the woods that surrounded it. And he was the urban legend. He was Cropsy.
Okay.
So it turned into this kind of weird true crime documentary. But that's what that reminds me of. I wonder if it was the same hospital. But like I said, that was a long time since I watched it, so I'm not sure.
And, you know, so many of these hospitals were the same way.
Yeah, it's so sad.
It is. Those poor people.
I know.
They just couldn't take care of themselves, and they were treated like shit.
Exactly. And half of them, like, these kids were put in these same wards or whatever with these, like, criminally insane people. It's so sad.
Cumberland Public Library. Cumberland Public Library, also known as Edward J. Hayden Library, is said to be haunted by a phantom monk, which makes a lot of sense given that the property was once a monastery. One common report of paranormal activity in the library is that books have a habit of moving from one place to another mysteriously.
So do they float?
I don't know.
Or do they just pop in and out? Is it another dimension? What is happening?
It's that same thing of where, you know, something just appears somewhere. How did, like, we had this conversation. Yeah. How does it get there?
Yeah.
How?
Is it floating? Are we just that distracted? We don't
No,
realize
I
things are
would-
floating around?
I would notice if something was floating around.
Yeah, and we've got cameras everywhere now.
Yeah,
Yeah, what the heck? It's insane.
it is. Many of the people who live locally actually believe that it's not just the mansion itself that is haunted, but the entire surrounding area. They believe that it is haunted by the spirits of 9 militiamen who are said to have been flayed there by Native Americans. Could the disembodied screams heard here be those militiamen reliving their torture?
Oh, I hope not.
The Biltmore Hotel in Providence. The Biltmore Hotel in Providence is said to be one of the most haunted hotels in Rhode Island. It was named as America's Most Haunted Hotel in 2000. It was apparently the inspiration for Robert Bloch's Bates Motel and played a role in Stephen King's creation of the Overlook Hotel in his book The Shining. When you look into the hotel's history, it is easy to see why. When the Biltmore Hotel was built, it was backed by prominent Satanist Johann Lees Weisskopf. It is said that in the early years, there were many satanic rituals conducted on the property, including some involving sacrifices. The hotel also became a hotspot during Prohibition, and a number of high-profile murders took place amidst the rowdy parties involving police officers and even the mayor. All of this has led to a range of paranormal activity. Guests often hear the sounds of rowdy parties coming from empty rooms long after the hotel bars have closed. One of the strangest reports connected to the hotel is that from time to time guests will simply vanish during the night. This started in 2008 when new owners boarded up the basement ritual rooms in an attempt to clean up the hotel. Modern Satanists claim that this is because the rituals were actually for purification and were keeping the evil spirits at bay.
Oh my gosh.
That is creepy.
That is definitely creepy.
Where are the guests going?
I don't know. That is creepy. And could you, because I've heard that a few times with ghost stories that people tell, especially in hotels, where they hear like a full-on party going on and there's nothing there.
Yeah.
That is so scary to me.
Well, and that's what happened in The Shining.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's scary. I love it.
That is weird.
Couldn't imagine. Knowing that you heard, because that's undeniable. That is very distinct.
Yeah.
There's nothing else that it could be.
Yeah.
And if there's nothing there, what the fuck did you hear? So creepy. I love it. That was your last one, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. This week I did. People describe the creepiest things they've seen families do, and these families think this is totally normal.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so my first one, I was babysitting for a girl and noticed weird furs on her bed. She explained to me matter-of-factly that they were her cats. Her parents skinned her pet cats after they died, presumably of natural causes, and put the pelts on her bed. That was the only time I babysat for them.
Oh my gosh.
I know. And how many cats have you had that fucking died?
And then
and to skin them?
Here's Fluffy.
Oh no. Fluffy needs to go bye-bye. That is horrible.
That's not good.
Here's Fluffy. Oh my god. Okay. That was just the first one. Aww.
Every time I come home from work, that is just all tore up.
Oh, he loves it.
Yeah, he does.
Okay. Next one. I hung out and played with these 3 siblings. They were all pretty normal kids, but the mom seemed a little clingy. During the summer, we would play outside a lot. Baseball, hockey, go-karts, swimming, the norm. Every single day, about 12 p.m., the mom would call the kids back to the house one at a time. They would have to go inside for about a half an hour, and they would come out while the next kid would go in. I never thought too much about it until one day I was actually in their house with them and found out why she had called them. She had mandatory cuddle time with each of the kids. They would lie on the couch and she would spoon them in the quiet for about 30 minutes each. Weirdest thing I've ever encountered.
That is fucking weird.
That is fucking weird.
Ew.
Yeah. What? No. There's a lot of these on here. Like I said, some of them you're going to laugh, and some of them you're going to be like, oh my fucking God. And then some of them are pretty sad. Next one. Okay. This one's fucking weird, okay? This is not my experience, but my aunt's. It was back in the 50s when she was a teenager. She was hired by a couple to babysit. She had never babysat for this couple before, but she was impressed because they were fairly wealthy and lived in a big house. The two small children, around 5 and 6 years old, were well dressed and well behaved. My aunt spent the day with them, fed them, played with them, etc. That evening, she got them ready for bed. The parents were due back later that night. My aunt heard some sounds coming from an upstairs closet. The children were in bed asleep. She opened the closet and found a crib, and in the crib was a baby.
What?
Both the crib and the baby were filthy. I think my aunt woke up the children to ask them about the baby, but their answers were vague. I don't recall my aunt having any luck getting information about the baby from the two older children. My aunt cleaned the baby up, she washed the bedding, and I remember her telling me that the baby didn't really make much sound other than the little grunts that had drawn her to the attention of the closet. She probably tried to feed the baby, but I don't remember that part of the story. According to my aunt, the parents came home, paid her, thanked her, took the baby, the dad drove her home, and she never babysat for them again and has no idea what happened to the baby.
She didn't call the police or something?
Apparently, this was in the 50s. And I don't even know was 911 or anything like
No, but there were cops.
But especially a teenage girl in the 50s, you don't stick your nose in places that it doesn't belong, right? I mean, I don't know.
Didn't live back in the 50s.
I know,
so
but...
I don't know, but that's not right.
That is not right. And that baby what the fuck? It had been by itself all day? I just... Oh, my God. Okay, next one. I knew a girl in high school whose parents were obsessed with dinner plates. They had such a huge collection of collectible plates in their house that every room was full of them on display. Their entire house was basically a library set up for these things. Her bedroom was a mattress on the floor, surrounded by display cases of plates. What? You couldn't even lean on any wall. They were all like this. The last time I went over there, I knocked one off the wall by mistake. I caught it and it didn't even break. But my God, the rage her dad flew in was fucking horrifying. He was inches away from punching me. Never went back. They tried to nervously laugh it off like, ha ha, good old dad being funny. The one time I asked my friend about why they had so many, she went on a passionate tangent about all the cool plates they had, and they were all so awesome. It went on for an hour. I never asked again because hearing about neat dishware for an hour was like torture. What the fuck?
What the hell?
Exactly. Why? What? Plates? That's weird. Oh my God. Okay, next one. Something that I witnessed for years only began to hit me as the realization slowly unfolded. A family that I visited frequently, all adult children who still lived with their parents, would coincidentally always have the same movie on every single time I visited. They all huddled around as though they were watching it for the first time. Once, when I actually stayed over for a longer duration, the TV was finally turned off when the movie ended, only to be turned on again and the play button pressed for the same movie. I finally realized that this movie is watched multiple times a day, every single day, almost like a ritual, and all the members of the family react the same way to the same scene repeatedly as if they'd never seen it before. For all those asking what the movie was, it was called Just Ask My Children. It was about a couple accused of child exploitation.
What? That is some like Twilight Zone.
I know.
That sounds like a plot.
It does.
Twilight Zone.
It does. I watch the Twilight Zone a lot. I turn it on. We just talked about this. When I go to bed, I turn on the Twilight Zone. And yeah, that is absolutely 100% a Twilight Zone episode. That is fucking weird. Okay, next one. My friend's mom used to... Oh my God. This is my nightmare, okay? My nightmare. My friend's mom used to bust in on her daughter's friends using the bathroom and quickly snap a picture.
What?
She proudly showed me the photo album of random kids using the toilet looking surprised and confused. Didn't really kick in how fucked up that was until later on in life. You think she thought it was funny?
Probably, but...
Oh my God! That is wrong. I would die. Oh my God.
That's like one of my fears too. I don't know why it's so horrifying,
bathrooms with two doors.
Oh.
Oh my God. That's like anxiety city.
Yeah.
I can't handle bathrooms with two doors.
Trying to go to the bathroom as fast as you can.
Yes.
You can't go any faster.
Remember freaking Aunt Myrtle Ann's?
Yes.
Where you had one door right in front of you, but the other door was like 10 feet that way. So if anyone came in that way, you were screwed.
9 times out of 10, none of the doors had locks.
No, none of the locks worked. Of course not. Oh my God. Okay, next one. A friend from high school theater used to invite me over to her family's house all the time. Her mom collected large vintage dolls like child-sized ballerinas, Victorian girls, and this one overly happy clown.
Oh no.
They dressed it up in their own clothing and placed it all around the house like it was a family joke, and it was alive. They also collected and played didgeridoos as a family group. It sounds cool, but they were pretty odd individuals.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird. No child-sized dolls. Thank you very much.
Remember, this was like, I think in the 80s, maybe, early 90s. Those stupid-looking dolls people would get, and they didn't have, like, a face.
Yeah.
It was like they put him against a wall, and it looked like a kid.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I remember those. It's creepy.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
Ugh.
Oh my gosh.
Luckily, that didn't seem to last too long.
No. Okay. Oh gosh. Next one. I spent the night at a classmate's house when I was 8. Her dad told us that he was cooking dinner that night and proceeded to go out to the backyard, take one of the girls' pet rabbits, cut its throat, and then cooked it. When she started to cry, her mother gave her this death stare and said, "Stop it. What does mommy love the best?" And the girl said, "Obedience."
Ugh.
That is fucked up and sad.
Yes, it is.
That's child abuse. Don't give them a pet rabbit and then cut its throat. Fuck you. I hate people. Anyway. A friend of mine is a house appraiser in New Jersey. He walks into the living room of one particular client's house, and there is a glass coffin in the living room with the body of a woman preserved inside. The guy said it's his mother, and my friend said it's the fastest he has ever appraised a house in his entire career.
Was it Norman Bates?
I don't think so. But, oh my God. I don't know. Like, yeah, how... Oh my God. I don't even want to know.
Why would someone... No.
Yeah, exactly. What? No. Is it like their coffee table? I mean, is she like a decoration? What the fuck? No.
I would be fucking pissed.
Yeah.
If I died and my son kept me on display in his living room.
No. I would have a problem with that.
I would too.
Yeah. For sure.
He'd be haunted for sure.
Haunt his dreams every night. You'd be like, "What are you doing?"
Fucking bury me on.
Move on.
I didn't raise you like this.
Oh, okay. Next one, it's a mom and a daughter who's probably 16 and a younger daughter who's probably 12. All three are always dressed alike, usually in pink or white poodle dresses, shiny black heels, and long stockings. The youngest one usually wears sneakers. They all always have long white or black gloves on that usually go up to their elbows. Their hair is always done up in big elaborate curls, and the older two always walk around with their hands cupped in front of them. Strange folk, all very nice and polite, but strange.
Creepy.
That is creepy. And again, I think this is another sad one because these daughters don't know any better. It's the mom.
Yes.
That's weird, and they just don't know any better, and that's what they're taught. And like the obedience girl, it's sad. Next one. This one's actually kind of funny. My best friend's family has a life-size cardboard cutout of Sarah Michelle Gellar. They would adorn it with accessories like scarves and sunglasses, then hide it just behind closed doors and around corners to scare each other and their guests with it. I was caught by it many times, and it's always a laugh hearing a random loud gasp or scream in the house.
That is kind of funny.
Yeah, exactly. Now, if they dressed it up in their clothes and like talked to it and she had dinner with them, that would be creepy. But I think they're just trying to scare each other, and that's funny.
It's like a long-running.
Exactly. Exactly. That's funny. This one's fucked up. I went to this guy's house, and this is in high school. I wasn't friends with him, but we were assigned to a project together. We'll call him Gary. Anyways, we were working on this project when he excused himself to use the restroom. 15 minutes later, he returned. A little while later, I decided to use the restroom while he was making snacks. I walked into the bathroom, and behold, before my eyes, floating like a manatee, was the result of Gary's earlier bathroom excursion. I shrugged it off. I mean, we all forget to flush at least once, right? I flushed for him, took a leak, flushed again, and went to work on the project. Gary's mom gets home from work a couple hours later. She nods to us and says hello politely before heading towards the back of the house. A few seconds later, she returns to the kitchen where we were working and screams, "Where is it?" I jump and confused and shoot a what the fuck look to Gary. Gary muttered, "It wasn't me, it was him." His mom glared at me, huffed, and walked out. Gary later explained that every day after school he would take a dump and was required to leave it in the toilet so his mom could check it. He wasn't even sick or anything. She just wanted to check to make sure he was healthy or something. I never went back to Gary's house. She was mad because
She couldn't look at his piece of shit. What the fuck is wrong with people?
Yes, that is correct. I don't know. Where is it?
Someone say next time use the bathroom.
Do it. See what he says.
He would. Should record it. Take video. Hide it.
I would love that.
I'm gonna try to remember to do that. Be like, Peyton, next time.
Just be like, I really need to make sure you're healthy.
So just leave it in there so I can see it. He'd probably start packing his shit and be like, I'm moving to Dallas.
He'd be like, okay. And then go in his room and start packing up his stuff.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
That's...
Yeah.
I have no words.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to move on.
Okay.
Next one, I got to know this one dude in junior high through a mutual friend, and he seemed like a pretty cool guy. So I went to his house a couple of times to play video games, ride bikes, etc. I met his parents, who seemed kind of different. I couldn't put my finger on it until we were playing games one day, and his dad stepped in front of the TV and said, "Well, this is weekly family porn night. We always let the kids pick out a video from the store and we watch it together. You want to stay longer?" Even though I was a young boy, that was just too much for me. I thought him, his sister, and his parents watching porn together freaked me out, and I didn't stay. I'm really hoping that this guy was like just fucking with this kid, but I don't know.
Ew.
I know, right? I know.
Even if he's fucking with them.
I know,
Ew.
but I know. Yeah, exactly. It's disgusting and horrible and sad. Okay, next one. I once went to my friend's house for her birthday party when I was in middle school. The family was super weird. All the walls were painted these horrific pastel colors, and every single room had at least one photograph of Jesus, if not multiple. Anyway, we were all hanging out at the party, and the mother comes up to me and very sternly tells me she would like a word with me. First, she was mad at me because, quote, "We do not swear in this house." Okay, I had said, "Geez." Second, she said, "We do not frown in this house. If you weren't constantly smiling, you were in trouble."
That's not.
No.
No.
Not normal.
No.
She said, "Geez." She's like, "Oh my God, we don't swear." Okay.
You'd have a heart attack at my house.
I know. Oh my God. She'd spend 20 seconds at mine and be like, "Oh wow, this is the devil's doing like cross." Away, devils. Okay. Next one, I went to a friend's house when I was 17. She asked her mom for a snack, and her mom brought out a huge raw white onion completely slathered in mayo on a plate. She and my friend just went at it with their forks like it was a filet mignon. 3 years later, I still think about that shit from time to time.
Ew. That's gross.
That is disgusting. Like, ew. Someone commented on that one. They were like, "Man, that's actually kind of genius because you get them to like think that that's snacks and be like, I'm going to eat these gross Doritos over here." You want to bite of my mayo onion? Disgusting. Okay. Next one, I used to go over to this kid Neil's house when I was in 4th or 5th grade. His entire family, including Neil, would sometimes leave and go run errands, leaving me there alone.
What?
They also would tell my parents that I was invited over for dinner, but then leave me in the basement to play video games by myself while they ate.
What?
I know. What the fuck?
That's cruel.
It is. And again, someone commented, they were like, "You didn't tell your mom they didn't let you eat?" They were like, "It was like a PlayStation 4, so I was good with it." Yeah, people are...
weird.
I know. I just think this is probably the tip of the iceberg. And this really goes well with the quote that I said earlier.
Yeah, really.
Okay, next one. My sister dated this guy in high school for a couple of years. He had the biggest helicopter parents in the world. He would call to see if my sister was around, and then his whole family would show up. Mom, dad, and sister would be with him. It was almost like they were going somewhere and dropping him off, except they would come inside and crash in the living room for hours while they waited on him.
Oh, what?
I felt so bad for the kid because he was 17 or 18 years old and his parents would third wheel him everywhere. I would have a problem with that.
Yeah.
If I was the girl's
If Peyton had a girlfriend
and her whole damn family,
I'd be like, "What the fuck are you doing?
get out of
my
get out of here.
I didn't invite you. You were not invited."
What the fuck?
I'd be like, can I help you?
I know. Don't you have something better to do? And take him with you if you're gonna leave.
All of it.
Exactly. Just go. Just go. Next one. My family collected dead people cards. When my grandparents would go to funerals, they would get those obituary cards with pictures and stuff and collect them. I think it started out as getting them for memory purposes, but then they'd get them for other people, and it became like a card game. My grandparents and their friends would trade them, and they coveted the ones that had misspellings or limited edition more. Like this one man's name was Hayes, but they misspelled it as Hazel, and the ones before the funeral home reprinted them were kind of like a show-off, showed off as a novelty. I didn't realize it was weird, and my mom's still in denial that it was weird. We had to throw out boxes of these dead people cards when my grandparents died, and their still living friends actually got mad that we didn't distribute them again. So they had the weird family this time.
That's not as weird as some of the others.
No, I mean, it actually really is. And I think it's actually because, like, Aaron's parents know everybody in this town, and if they would have started doing this, they would have had tons. So I kind of get it. I think it's kind of funny. This one's fucking weird too. I went on a road trip with a friend's family one time. It was a 5-hour drive, and the entire time no one spoke. It was completely silent. No music, no talking, nothing. And even though they had drank tons of liquids before getting in the car, no one had to pee during the 5-hour drive. Weirdest and most unsettling drive of my life.
They would have hated me going, because I'd be like every 10 minutes, I need to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, 5 hours of no one saying anything? No. That's weird. It's beyond. This one is illegal, and this guy should be in jail. This one is about a teacher in college. He was an older guy, gray and balding. He had a glass eye. He taught programming and very much seemed like the kind of guy who'd be a train spotter, which I don't know what that meant.
I've heard the term before, but I'm not quite sure.
Okay, if you guys know, let us know, because I'm not sure what that meant. But he would always be pleasant and smiling and gave off a vibe of being a good grandparent and generally likable, if awkwardly nerdy, a nerdy kind of guy. Then we had a few weeks break. After the break, he came back telling us what a wonderful time he had, I think in Thailand. He told us he goes there every chance he gets and pulls out some Polaroids, which he started flipping through. Quote, "Can't show you that one or that one. That one's inappropriate. Here we go. Have a look, fellas. Isn't she beautiful?" The guy gave the closest guy a photo of a naked lady boy and encouraged us to pass it around. He continued flipping through his own, saying some were inappropriate, and then showed us some of the lady boy sitting on his lap. The lady boy is naked. Our teacher was clothed. Apparently, quote-unquote, inappropriate meant photos where he was nude, and he chuckingly stated that it would be well out of line for him showing us nudes of himself. He continued handing out appropriate, quote-unquote, pictures and telling us to have a look at how cute her little cock is. What? Me and the other guys were just handing these pictures around, mainly looking at each other in half horrified and half amused state, and is this really fucking happening right now? And then we just gave them back and got back to work. It was never really brought up again by him, and he didn't do anything else out of the ordinary over the duration of our course. But what the hell was that?
He's a fucking pedophile.
Exactly. Disgusting. Oh my fucking God. And how awkward. And you don't know your teachers. Like, you don't know them. Oh my God. Why? No. That's horrible. No. Okay, next one. I knew a guy who was the oldest of 12 children. He was 20 at the time. He told me that a few months after his mom would have a baby, his parents would go on a quote-unquote hotel date. And when they did, all the kids would get excited and talk to each other about if he's going to get her pregnant. And then they would all bug the mom about it until a few weeks later, and she would announce she was pregnant, and all the kids would be so excited about it. That sounds like the, what is it, 19 and counting bullshit, whatever. So stupid. Next one. When I was 14 or 15, I would go over to this girl's house. I'm also female. And we would hang out. One day she came out of her parents' room with something in her mouth. At first I didn't realize what it was, but once she sat back on the couch, I saw that it was a fucking vibrator. In her mouth. On. I kind of flipped shit and asked what the hell she was doing. She said her gums hurt, so she was massaging them. The sad/bad/disgusting/weird thing was that she didn't even know what it was. She found it in her parents' room one day and thought it was for her teeth and gums.
Oh my God.
On top of that, her parents knew she used it for that purpose because they walked in and talked to her while it was in her mouth.
Oh my God.
I didn't go back. Okay. This one is weird. I went to a picnic/barbecue thing with this family. Mom, dad, 3 or 4 kids, I don't remember. We light the barbecue and start preparing food. The main attraction is chicken wings. The wings are covered in sauce and they are placed on the barbecue and the mother tends to them. After forever, the food is ready. She brings a huge platter of chicken wings, sets them on the blanket, and everyone is taking plates and fixing drinks for themselves. The woman picks up a chicken wing, holds it with 2 hands as you do, and starts licking it. She's licking it and turning it over, keeps licking. I think, weird, but okay. Then she puts it back on the platter. I'm stunned. She picks up another one, does the same thing, and puts it back. All the while, she's talking, saying things like, "All right, kids, come on, get your chicken wings, eat," as if she's preparing the wings for our consumption by licking them. I am still in shock. I can't say anything. I'm looking at everyone else. None of them are reacting, and there's no sign of it on anyone's faces that something is weird. She licks and licks, and they just eat it.
Oh.
What is that?
And then to do it in front of an outsider.
Like it's totally fucking normal. Like it's normal. What in the actual fucking fuck? I mean, oh my God.
I would be like, I'm good.
Yeah, I don't want your saliva wings, lady. That's disgusting. Oh my God. No.
What are you having for dinner?
Yummy. Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah, those were my stories for the week.
Thanks.
Nightmares.
Jeez.
There you go, people. There's some scary shit.
I said jeez.
Oh, we don't swear in this house.
Okay. It's time for the witty wrap-up.
Yay!
This week I did douchey things fathers did while the mother was in labor.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Got some man-hating coming up here, I can tell.
My husband and the doctor talked football the entire time I was pushing, as if I wasn't even there.
Oh, my God.
Them having a baby.
Go fuck yourself.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
My husband left me when I was in labor to go buy a PS3. It was Black Friday. He will never live that down.
Fuck you. No, he won't.
No.
Oh, my God. Fuck you!
When the nurses asked how bad the pain was from 1 to 10, and I said 10, my husband said, "Oh, come on. It can't be that bad."
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. How the fuck will you ever know? Ever. Fuck you.
I could do some experiments and we can see.
Yeah, hey. Does this hurt, motherfucker?
From 1 to 10, how much does this hurt?
Oh, it's not that bad. After he's on the floor.
So far, these aren't very witty.
I think it's funny.
My husband went duck hunting and forgot to charge his cell phone. I went into labor while he was sitting in the bay alone in a boat. When he came home and realized I was gone, he assumed I was just shopping or visiting family, so he took a nap.
Oh my
I
God.
was prepped for emergency C-section. We had friends in boats out looking for him in the bay. Search parties. Finally, my dad called the neighbors across the street to ask them to leave a note on the door of the house. While bringing the note over, they saw his track and had to go bang on the bedroom window to wake my stupid husband. To this day, I can't even enjoy an episode of Duck Dynasty without wanting to smother him.
God, that'd be so frustrating.
Oh, I know.
Not be able to find someone. Oh my gosh.
I was in labor all night and ready to go in the morning. My husband was asleep in the chair, and when they woke him up, he walked over to me and said, "My foot hurts." Really? Get this man an epidural.
Oh my gosh. I just have no clue.
They don't. They don't. And men are the biggest babies.
Beyond, I
When it
know.
comes to pain.
I know.
Being sick.
Oh, I have a cold. The world is ending.
Boo fucking who. Anyway. My husband took a conference call on the way to the hospital. He asked me to please give him a signal before I had a contraction, and they were 90 seconds apart, so he could mute the call in time. I
Oh my
told him to
God.
either put the whole call on mute, tell him his wife is in active labor, or, and I strongly encouraged this, not take the damn call.
Give me a signal. I'll give you a fucking signal.
My husband had one job. One. He needed to get directions to the hospital. It wasn't until I went into labor in the middle of the night that I realized he dropped the ball.
Oh my
He
God.
tried to MapQuest the directions while driving down the highway and almost killed us.
Oh my God, I would kill him.
I told him if I missed my epidural window, I would end his life. He took one too many wrong turns and we ended up in a dodgy end of town. After I threatened to divorce him 75 times, he finally asked for directions and got his pregnant wife to the hospital, still pregnant.
Oh my gosh. I wonder if she missed her epidural window.
Oh, I don't know.
I would kill him.
So pissed.
Yeah.
Mine was an emergency C-section. The husband was just getting off work when we found out I needed surgery, 4 weeks early with twins. We called to tell him to come immediately. He was about 4 minutes from the hospital, but after 20 minutes he still hadn't shown up. Another call revealed him sitting at home eating a sandwich and checking on his World of Warcraft real quick.
Oh my God. Fuck you.
My husband went downstairs to charge his phone and call his mom from the car. When I called him an hour later because I was 9 centimeters, he said he was at Sam's buying Tupperware.
What?
What the fuck is wrong with these people? About 30 minutes after our son was born, a full 24 hours of labor, my husband told me he was going to head home for a bit because he was exhausted.
Dude, like, for 1 second, put yourself in other people's shoes. Just 1 second. Because it's way too much to ask.
Yeah.
Ugh.
My husband grew up on a cattle ranch, and during labor with our first, he very confidently announced to the nurse that he wasn't nervous at all, because I've seen this a million times with cows.
Oh, really? Oh my God. Go fuck yourself.
My husband rested the magazine he was reading on my legs while I lay dying without an epidural. When I kicked it off and yelled at him to get whatever was touching me off, he responded, "It's just a magazine. What else am I supposed to do?"
Oh my God. I hate you.
In the delivery room, my husband went into hypoglycemic shock because he hadn't eaten in 48 hours. He almost passed out and had his own team of nurses and my midwife helping him.
Oh my God. Fuck you. Oh, and he did that to himself, and he did that to her. God damn it.
My husband took so many pictures of himself in the scrubs and mask, obviously super important to document. The camera battery was almost dead when we actually had the baby.
Oh my
I have pictures
gosh.
to prove it.
Oh my gosh.
My husband started throwing up while I was pushing. The nurse ran out of the room because she couldn't handle it.
Oh no. Why was he throwing up?
I don't know.
I guess it was too much.
I was fully dilated after 18 hours, and my husband said, "You think you can hold out pushing until I grab some breakfast?"
Oh my god. Was he serious?
I don't know.
I bet he was.
My husband grew this ridiculous goatee and wore a shirt that said toe rag on it. So he looks ridiculous in all the photos.
Okay, that's kind of like not important. I wouldn't care about. But toe rag, what is
I
that?
don't know. It's all one word. I don't know if I'm even saying it
That's kind of. That's frivolous a little. Should be like, oh my god, look at your fucking goatee, and what is this shirt?
We were out to a movie when my contractions started. Since our house is on the way to the hospital, we stopped to get our bags. I waited in the car while my husband went in. 5 minutes go by, 10 minutes, 15. He finally comes back as I was about to go investigate, and by investigate, I mean cause bodily harm, and explain that he had food stuck in his teeth, so he was trying to floss it out. Yeah, he's a genius. Mine watched TV with his face pressed against the screen because he couldn't hear it over my pain noises.
Oh my god, fuck you.
My husband asked if he could borrow one of my pillows because his back hurt and I had too many.
Oh my god, oh my god.
All of these guys deserve a punch in the face.
Absolutely, you took the words right out of my mouth. That's exactly what I was thinking.
My husband asked if he could... Oh, I just read that. I do that a lot. Shut up. When it was time to go to the hospital, my husband said he needed to shower and shave first. Seriously? Fine. Then I asked him to wake our 3-year-old and get him ready for daycare. I waddled downstairs expecting everyone to be ready to leave and find them eating waffles and watching cartoons. I'm in labor, people!
Oh my god. Does anyone have any priorities around? Oh my god. I'd be so mad.
At 3 a.m., I decided it was time to go, and my husband said he was getting up to get ready. I was on the bouncy ball for a half hour waiting and then went to check on him. He had fallen back asleep.
Oh my god. Oh man, the way I would wake him up, I would just slap the shit out of him. Ugh.
After I finally agreed to an epidural, the nurse explained that it would feel like a quick little bee sting. When she left, my husband says to me, very sweetly and earnestly, "I've had many epidurals, and I just want you to know it doesn't feel anything like a bee sting. It really hurts," I replied. What the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you say that to me in the throes of labor?
Exactly. What a dick. She's a big fat liar. This is gonna fuck you up. That's basically what he said.
Mine kicked me out of the car in the ambulance bay, 9 centimeters dilated with my bag, and left me to traipse across the hospital and up 2 flights of stairs on my own because he didn't want to pay for hospital parking.
Oh my god. What an asshole.
Right after my C-section, my husband asked the nurse in the recovery room if he could just lay down on the floor, saying, "I promise I won't be in the way." My husband made me wait for him to finish watching Gladiator after my water broke.
Are you fucking kidding me?
And finally, while in labor with a placental abruption
Ooh.
at 34 weeks, my husband says, "I think you should calm down."
Oh my god.
No, you didn't.
Saying that in a normal conversation is an absolute fucking no. But oh my god, man, I'll tell you what, my husband's looking pretty damn good right now. I'm really glad.
I'd probably be divorced if any of those things.
Exactly. Oh my God. Some of them were like, okay, well, he's just fucking stupid. He doesn't understand. But man, calm down. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. That pisses me off right now. I couldn't imagine her at that moment. Oh my God.
Oh, I'm sure it doesn't hurt that bad.
Oh my God. I would kill someone. Okay. Thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate it. Send us your stories. We want to hear them. Everybody wants to hear them. Anything. ghouls.nightouttpodcast@gmail.com. Look us up on Facebook and rate, review, subscribe. You can give us a review on Facebook. What else? Is that it? Send us your stories, embarrassing moments.
Weren't we doing something for the year?
Oh, what was that?
Favorite moments?
Oh, yeah. If you have any favorite moments or favorite stories that we've shared, you can email us those or comment on Facebook. We're trying to figure out something to do for our year. It's coming up. I think Chris is trying to help us with that. So send us your stories and your favorite moments, embarrassing moments, anything for the Woody Wrap-Up. We'll take it. Rate, review, subscribe, and we will talk to you next week.
Later.
Bye.